Now guys, let me say something about this just before we get started again from where the last video left off. This process may take longer sometimes and shorter than the guessing and checking method. But it always works, every time. Okay? So if you want to, I think it's simpler just to know what to do every time. You don't have to check, won't make any simple mistakes with signs or anything like that. This one always gives you the right answer. Okay? And we're close. We're very close to the answer. All right. So now, when we left off, we had two answers because remember, we're going to have two factors that multiply to give us this trinomial. All right, so negative 7 plus 11 is positive 4 over 4. I'll simplify that in a minute. Over here, I've got negative 18 over 4. All right, we've got two answers. 4 over 4 is just 1. And negative 18 over 4, no decimals. Leave it as an improper fraction. 2 goes into both of those, we get negative 9 over 2. Now this is what x can equal. To make this polynomial up here equal 0. And we'll do some solving of quadratics later because we use the quadratic formula to solve equations. That means what x would make this whole thing equal 0. But that's in a different section that we'll cover later. But we're going to use the quadratic formula to help us factor. Now I want you to watch this. Let's take the two things that x can equal and let's write them separately. X can equal 1 and x can equal negative 9 over 2. All you have to do is get everything on the left side. Subtract 1 and you get x minus 1 equals 0. That is one of our factors. I'm going to go back up here and write it in. X minus 1. Now, we could just look at it to see what the other one needs to be, right? The other one would have to be 2x. Yes? Because that would give me 2x squared when I multiply it. And the back one has to be positive 9 because negative 1 times positive 9 gives us negative 9. Yes? Yes. But let's go down and see if that's what happens when we work with the other solution. What do I do to get rid of the 2? Coolest? Multiply both sides by 2. So now I have 2x is equal to negative 9. Now what do I do? Coolest? Add 9 to both sides. And I get 2x plus 9 equals 0. Do you agree that's our other factor? Is that what we had up here at the top? 2x plus 9.
That's factor?
That's factor. X minus 1 times 2x plus 9 gives us that.
Would that work with any other equation, or any other factor thing without 2 and without a number?
You mean would it work with the ones without something in front of the x squared? It would. But there's no reason for us to worry about it because it's much easier just to factor. You know, the thing is, once we start getting stuff in front of the x squared, it gets messy, or it can get messy. You could have a possible, for instance, what we have to do is we have to look at the front number 2, and we know that it can be 2 and 1, right? Then we have to look at the back number, minus 9. It can be minus 1 and 9, 1 and minus 9, or negative 3 and positive 3. Now, if I multiply these two, I have to multiply, I have to get the pair that would add up to positive 7. But do you see, by doing this, I don't have to get that pair at all. All I do is just work backwards from the solution and it gives me the factors every time. Every time. Okay? Let's try another one.